Alright guys, this is Sean. I'm going to be doing a series. Pretty much the series is how I prefer to arrange my teams. I think a lot of people, they just, they put a formation on the field and, you play a 4-3-3 or you play a 4-4-2 and you get 11 guys and you play. So this video is more about the characteristics I look for in players, or the roles inside a system I prefer players playing. Where they should be in attack, where they should be in defense, where they should be transitioning, all this stuff that comes into account when I'm selecting my team, or the player qualities that I look for in these certain roles, I guess. So first, the formation we play is a 2-3-2-3. I prefer calling it that, although a lot of people would probably call it a 4-3-3 because we play a lone pivot. However, our wingbacks are more connected to the lone pivot than they are the center backs. So just based on that, that's why I call it a 2-3-2-3. So starting with the goalie, apart from the typical attributes you would look for in your goalies, with shot stopping, reflexes, all that stuff, what I really look for is somebody that's confident playing the ball with their feet, with both legs, both feet. Game awareness. So if we're defending a corner kick and he catches the ball out the air, he needs to know whether we should play direct and try to play up to our 3 forwards if we have a 3-on-3 and try to counterattack, or if we should be managing the game, getting everybody back in position, and then playing out the back with a throw. So I think game awareness and obviously distribution with both feet is huge. Apart from the general characteristics you would want in your goalie, which obviously play a huge role as well. After the goalies, the 2 center backs that I was talking about, what you want from the center backs, or what I want from my center backs, obviously the same, just like I said with the goalie, the ability to play out the back, the ability to read the game, good positioning, mobile, so they can move left and right, up and down. And I think that the one thing that I really look for in a defender is just the soccer IQ. So when they should be stepping to make a tackle on a center forward, or when they should be backing off and letting one of the midfielders do that job. So those are the main things. Obviously communication is up there too, but those are the things that I would want in my center backs. And then also when we're in possession, if our wing backs has the ball, if our left wing back has the ball, our left center back should be shifting over wide to the left to help provide an angle, and our pivot will drop a little bit deeper to provide a triangle with our left back and obviously the pivot, so that we have a triangle there. Same with the right center back. Okay, so moving on after that, with my right back, I prefer having a wing back again, somebody that goes up and down. Okay, so they can obviously get connected to the rest of the defense, but also at the same time, when we're in possession and we're keeping the ball, there's somebody like a Dani Alves where they're in the final third, they're confident on the ball, they're technically good, they can transition. And somebody, I prefer having my right back, somebody who really hugs the touchline. And I'll get back to why I like that a little bit later with my right winger. So those are the qualities, just somebody who can go up and down the field, that can make a tackle when they need to, that positionally is aware, that can communicate if they're out of position just in case to the pivot or the right center back and things like that. With my left wing back, I don't really have a preference between inverted or regular, like a left-footed left back or wing back, but usually I'll have overloads on one side with my fullbacks, and just judging by the team I'm probably going to have next year, it's going to be the left side. So for example, I'm going to have a inverted fullback, so a right-footed left back, and he's going to be going up and down the field just like my right back, although he's also going to be occupying a lot of space in the middle of the field while we're in the final third. And so he's either doing that to allow us to create a 2v1 with the left winger, or also to isolate the left winger and have the left winger go 1v1 with the right back. So those are the qualities, a lot of the same qualities as I want in the right back. And then obviously they're going to be overloading on that side, and that's just a personal preference I have. Best example is modern day football. I don't know if Adriano's kind of good with both feet, so I don't know if he classifies as an inverted winger or inverted fullback with Barcelona, but he does get up the field. And then obviously Philipp Lahm, when he plays left back with Bayern in Germany, also he's very high up the field. He's obviously right-footed, but technically he's there. He's in the attack, and he's obviously a fantastic player. So moving to the middle of the field, you have your pivot. I prefer having a regista or like a deep line playmaker. That's just a personal preference. I prefer somebody with the qualities of Pirlo. Um, Even somebody like Busquets. Busquets is obviously really smart, but Busquets also has a lot of bite to him. So if he has to make a tackle or win a head or anything like that, he's game for it. I actually prefer, just in my system, somebody like Pirlo that really dictates the flow of the game like 100% of the time. And the only way that you can have somebody like that that's not really good on defense but sitting back, connected to the center backs often, when you're on the ball, is you have to have workhorses. And that goes to my attacking midfielders. Is the things I look for in my attacking midfielders are everybody needs to work cohesively in the midfield, in the center with the two attacking and the pivot. But then if you look at Conte with Juventus last year, you have Pogba, Marquisio, and Vidal, who all work their socks off to make sure Pirlo's protective and they press and they work together. Vidal is probably one of the hardest working players in Europe. So that's kind of what I want from my attacking mids, is people who could really press the ball, obviously technically good players. And then depending on the roles of the players, if I have a player that's better combining with my forward, or if I have a player that's better finishing higher up the field, I might push that player on a little bit higher than the other midfielder. But again, it's just a personal preference. And then obviously you want attacking midfielders who are really going to dictate the game, because we do want both fullbacks high and then the regista, the deep line playmaker, dropping in with the center backs. So that pretty much means we have to keep possession at our pace, and if we're going to get the fullbacks high, we have to do it keeping the ball rather than going up and down, because we're wasting energy and we're getting guys out of position if we don't do that. So now moving back to the right, personal preference, I inverted winger, so a left-footed player on the right. And I prefer having this guy tucked in close to my striker, and so he's going to be tucking in. The right wing back is the one providing depth on this side out wide, so providing width. I prefer somebody that can combine, create central overload, so we can create 2v1s or 1v1 opportunities for the right wing back. The right wing back's going to be getting crosses in the box, preferably on the ground, so that we can attack. And I just prefer having a left-footed guy, because obviously he can cut in and shoot anywhere within 25 to 30 yards, so that's important. To the other wing, I prefer having an inverted winger on the left. Just a personal preference. I like having somebody who's physical on this side, and the reason I have this preference is because when you're getting pressed and a team's really coming at you, sometimes you need to hit a diagonal long ball to break the pressure and also disorganize them. So you don't need a 6'2", 180-pound guy. You just need somebody that's going to really battle on this side, or I do at least. So when the right wing back hits that diagonal long ball, you have somebody that's going to fight for the first and second ball, and cause the other team to drop off. You obviously I also prefer having somebody that's good 1v1, that can take an outside back and get a ball in the middle, or can create. And then obviously I have my left inverted wing back tucking in, trying to create that 2v1 opportunity. Finally, with my the center forward, I prefer a false number 9. It doesn't have to be somebody that's small, but I prefer somebody that can combine, somebody that's good in the box, somebody that reads the game well, and is obviously mobile also, and they should be the first person that's able to press the ball. And I think that when you have those characteristics in a false number 9, you can't really go wrong. So the false number 9 can combine with the attacking midfielders, he can combine with the inverted winger on the right, and I really like having somebody that's just a clinical guy in the box that can just get you a goal or two a game as a false 9. So this is just touching base with my personal preferences in a 2-3-2-3. When you see it on paper, it comes out and everything is a triangle. So as long as you're in good positions with it, you can be successful. As long as you transition from defense to attack and attack to defense, it's obviously critical. So thank you guys for watching. Please retweet if you liked it. Obviously, feel free to ask me questions if you have any. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.